It's great. Well, man, it's so good that we ran into each other. I'm looking forward to digging into your life as a security pro. So thank you for taking a minute out.
Sure. I'm excited to be here.
I am too. So let's begin with I know we're all getting into this point where we're tired of COVID, but it was such a momentous thing for all of us for many reasons. So, how did you make it through that time period? And how did it change the way that you do things now?
That's a heck of a question. I think it changed surprisingly little for me,
Okay.
but it changed a lot. It uncovered a lot of truths, uncomfortable truths that people have been telling themselves for a long time. I know a guy, a mentor, who called it the great discernment. It was the time when everybody took a look at their life and asked, why? Why am I doing it this way?
Yeah.
What am I going for? And I think that was a powerful cultural movement. People stopped pouring themselves into their corporate identities, like on a large scale, so much that like people started to notice. People started businesses. I think it exposed some of the social lies that have been, detrimental for a long time.
Well
For me,
said. So well said.
uh, I'm just sitting here in my basement. I'm still learning, growing, becoming. I'm on my path. I was on it before COVID. COVID kind of took a hit to the whole world of conventions and public speaking, which is a
Yes.
key part of my strategy and future. So that was unfortunate, but I don't know. It kind of worked out.
Yeah. So let's get to the heart and soul of what you do on a daily basis. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career
Sure.
day. And one of the curious
Yep.
kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" What's your answer?
Yeah. I explain things to people who are scared of those things so that they are not scared anymore and they have easy, good next steps.
Wow, that's a great way of summing it up. Because the kids can get that. They totally get that.
Yeah.
That
This is
taps.
something they live on a regular basis, right? They're scared of stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Boogeymans.
Uh-huh. The Stephen Kings out there. Yeah, it just taps into that primal fear or that primal condition we have. So let's take you back to when you were in that seat in the third grade. What did you dream of becoming when you grew up?
Uh, I got baggage about this. You might get a rant. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but when I was in school, and especially in high school, I believed a lie. I believed a lie for too long. And I think it's kind of fundamental to childhood. The lie is um, it is worthwhile to do things because they're hard. You get praise for doing harder things, for being part of like the club sports team or the chess club or the AP class. And when it spits you out the other end, you kind of keep going on that inertia for a while. And it caused me a crisis because I kept trying to do the hard things, expecting good things to happen to me. And then I wasted a lot of time because nobody gives a flying rip if you're doing hard things.
Right.
They care if you're doing valuable things.
Yeah.
And so, me as a third grader, I was telling the adults in my life what I think they wanted to hear. I was driven by shoulds. I was like My world was defined by expectations, what other people thought I should be doing. And it took me a depressingly long time to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So who's been that hero for you? Who's been that inspiration for you in your life and all of these things that you've done career-wise and personally?
Oh, man. I got a couple. I would say Mr. Rogers is right up there. He was a great explainer. He was a great humanizer. Um, he made things easy. There's people in other disciplines since then that have also been very good at making things easy and spreading like objective truths. There's a Taiichi Ono who ran like a good chunk of Toyota in its most successful years in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He was a great explainer. Um, yeah, I got more if you want, but
No, that's
that's
great.
probably
No,
the theme.
yeah, that's wonderful, and that's a good springboard for me to ask you this. If you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now that you find fascinating, that does things in a way that you're fascinated by, you could spend some time with them. Who would that be?
I don't even trust myself because, like, if I think back to the past 5, 15 years, the overwhelming lesson is I don't know what I need to hear. My judgment on where I'm going to get the most insight is not reliable.
Right.
I have learned some of the deepest truths from some of the most unexpected places. Uh, so I give up. I don't even try anymore.
But what keeps you going? Talk to me a little bit about
Uh-huh.
what is your motivation every day to wake up,
Mm-hmm.
to do your work, to evolve as a human being, and to keep your head above water and feeling positive about what's going on this planet?
Yeah, a couple things. One, I think I am here to tell unpleasant truths, to address legalism. And by that I mean when people follow the shape of success instead of its substance. You see that everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was if you're a Bible reader, that was what pissed Jesus off more than anything else is
Hmm.
when people ran through their checklists. That is the biggest problem in government. That's the biggest problem in corporate America. I see that as like one of the biggest social challenges to humanity in general, trying to be lazy about it. And often success, the substance of success, is far easier than following the shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It and so that's I mean on security is just the particular domain in which I'm addressing legalism professionally because there is an enormous amount of legalism in the security industry and an enormous amount of misconceptions.
Yeah.
Most of the spend, most of the hours that people spend on security is wasted or worse than wasted. It
Yeah.
is not helping.
Yeah.
Uh, and then on a personal note, I'm not. I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to get some stuff done. I'm here to help.
So, speaking of people misallocating security dollars and doing it in a way that's not beneficial, being an expert in this, seeing it every day, what's the one tip that you could give people that might correct the course?
Yeah. This is the question that everybody asks, that everybody wants to hear. What's what's my easy answer? What's the truth that applies to everyone? And the truth is there's no easy answer,
Yeah.
but there are some good philosophies. And I would say, did you ever read the E Myth?
No.
No. So for entrepreneurs, small business owners, it's like it's their Bible, right?
Okay.
It has been so influential. It's sold millions and millions and millions of copies in its life on the 22nd printing or edition or something. Uh, Great book. It's about how to manage.
Yeah.
And one of the key lessons it says is we struggle with control. You as a small business owner or any sort of person in authority, you're delegating tasks. And when someone screws it up, you feel this need to jump in and fix it, to take it back,
Yeah.
right? Because you see their failures, but you got a blind eye to your own. And the key to succeeding in business is to hold that back, right? To not try to do it all. You gotta delegate as much as you can and let other people fail on the things that don't matter as much. And keep your priorities real straight. The same is true in security, that you don't have to do it all. And often you can get a lot further by letting somebody else do it. You want an example?
Sure. I would love one.
Okay. So let's say you're a law firm and like you're a partner, you're 70 years old. Um, I don't know, you do like contract commercial litigation or something. And you've had your case management system, like you invested in it in like 2002 and the previous time 1996 or something like that. And this thing runs on a server in your closet. Okay. And your IT people are doing backups of it. And every month you get these reports of like how vulnerable it is. And there's like lots of criticals and reds on your dashboard. And you're just tired of the whole thing. And if you do the checkbox method and you follow all their advice, you will spend an enormous amount of effort, like whack a moling all these vulnerabilities, all this techno jibber jabber, and you won't be that much safer. On the other hand, if you just ditch the thing and go buy a subscription on the cloud to some like well-run case management software, you virtually eliminated all your risk
Yeah.
because they will do a much better job of all that techno jibber jabber than you ever will with unlimited budget because they're focused on it and you're not. Let people do things for you.
You know what's interesting about you saying that? What I've realized as an older guy, because older guys get hung up on all these things that you have to do all the time around the house and just in general.
Yeah.
It's really essential to hire a plumber sometimes. It's really essential to get an electrician in your house instead of trying to do it. and finding the breaker and hoping you get the wires. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly what you're saying. If you got a leak, just get the right guy. It's going to be so much cheaper at the end of the day. It's going to provide peace of mind for everything. And that's exactly what the woman in your house wants, is the peace of mind that it's going to get done. And if you have to
Right.
spend a little bit for it, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. We often are bad. We have a blind eye towards the total cost of a path. We look only at the easy to measure bits like the price tag, and we think, oh, I could do it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it for half that. But how many times are you going to have to go back to Home Depot?
Yeah.
How many hours are you going to spend on it? What's the distribution of hours? You might imagine it only taking you 1 hour, but the odds of it taking you 6 hours are probably like 20 plus percent.
Yeah.
And what are the odds that you cause even more damage because something bad happens? Is this really what you want to get better at?
Yeah. 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 I totally get it. So I'm curious in your life up to this point of everything that you've done, accomplished, and evolved into, what are you the proudest of?
Failing.
Yeah.
I'm are you familiar with like this tech bro zeitgeist of like fail fast, fail hard, fail forward, fail
Yeah.
often?
I've totally skimmed the surface. I get it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just in the last 5, 10 years, I've come to align with it. And for me, the breakthrough came when I started thinking about like what does it mean to fail? A failure is just a non-ideal outcome. That's all it means. And we as a society have put all this baggage on non-ideal outcomes. We even like to fail is to be a less valuable person. We even use it as a noun. You're a failure. And if you remove all that baggage and you just say, okay, I had a non-ideal outcome. What can I learn from it? Growth and success requires you to adjust. And the faster you can run these little iteration cycles of practicing and then reflecting on that attempt and what are you going to do next time, the faster you'll get to where you're going.
Yeah.
And the number one thing that slows you down or gets you stuck is fear of one of the steps, fear of failing, fear of trying. Because you know what? Every every practice attempt you make is non-ideal. The question is, do you have the insight to know how it could have been better?
Yeah.
And in a sense, so in a sense, failure is a necessary, dependent, intrinsic step to success. And
Certainly.
yeah, so the only way to truly fail is to get stuck and not try.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I suck at lots of things. And I would like to think that I suck slightly less at some of them than I did last month, every month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to work on that. That's a
No,
hard
yeah,
question.
it is a hard question and it seems awfully daunting, but you did wonderful. So if anyone out there wants to reach out, learn more about what you're doing, hire you, any
Sure.
of the good business, where do they go?
Simple Salt. We are big on social media, trying to address the common misconceptions. A lot of content, guides, things like that. We are focused on businesses with a lot to lose, um, because they're more incented to not follow the shape of success. They want results. They don't want to just keep their jobs. So if you are really worried about getting nailed and you want the correct answers instead of the pleasant lies, uh, call us up. We're here to help. It's easier than you're probably thinking. Um, simple-salt.com or on Google.
Excellent. This has been wonderful. So great to run into you. So great to meet you. Thank you for your story. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck. We should hook up at some point. We'll get a coffee.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Yeah. And keep doing the great work, sir.
Yeah, you too. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely. You bet. Have a